Chag Sameach, everyone. Welcome to our abbreviated and joyous Simchat Torah service. We are delighted to have you with us. I'm here with Cantor Tracy, and we have our wonderful volunteer, technician, all-around good guy, Avram Shirak. And we appreciate everyone who's involved with this service, wherever you might be. As I mentioned yesterday, these services that are pre-recorded are meant to be highlights, some of the best and important facets of each particular day. So we're not going to do what we ordinarily would do on a Shabbat morning, starting out with Birkot HaShachar, then going to Shachrit, etc. We're just going to go right into focusing on those important facets. And so we'll begin with an abbreviated form of the Hallel. It starts on 133. Cantor Tracy will read the blessing, and then we're going to repeat immediately after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et hallel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et hallel. Hallelujah. Let's continue together the second paragraph on 134 for something a little bit different.
Adonai Zekaranu Yevarech, Yevarech et Beit Yisrael, Yevarech et Beit Aharon, Yevarech Yerei Adonai, Haketani mimagdolim, Yosef Adonai Alechem, Aleichem ve'avnechem, Beruchim atem l'Adonai, Oseh shamayim va'aretz, Hashamayim, shamayim l'Adonai, Ve'haaretz natan livnei Adam, Lo ametim ya'aleluya, Ve'lo kol yodei duma, Ve'anachnu nevarech ya. Hallelujah.
Let's continue on the top of 137, Odcha.
Odcha, ki ani tani, v'tehi li lishua. Odcha, ki ani tani, v'tehi li lishua. Even masu abonim, hayta l'rosh bina. Even masu abonim, hayta l'rosh bina. Me'et Adonai hayta zot, hi niflat beinenu. Me'et Adonai hayta zot, hi Zehayom Adonai Nagila v'nizmechavo. Zehayom Adonai Nagila v'nizmechavo.
Adonai Shiana. Adonai Shiana.
Adonai Atzlichana.
Adonai Atzlichana.
Adonai Atzlichana.
We continue on our own, reading through the end of the Hallel service. Thank you for that, Cantor Tracy. Let's do the following. We're going to, before we get started with special hakafa, ordinarily we would say hakafot, the circuits that we do when we carry all of the Sifrei Torah, the Torah scrolls. We're going to limit that to one this year. We're going to do so in honor of all of you who are with us online, we're missing terribly. When it comes to reading from the Torah on Simchat Torah, you know that on Simchat Torah night is the only night where we actually read from the Torah. And then we do so again on Simchat Torah morning. But there are special terms that are given to the person who ends the Torah, right? Chatan Torah, or Kalat Torah, the groom or the bride of the Torah. And then there's Chatan or Kalat Bereshit, the groom or bride of the book of Bereshit, which is where we start over again. And these terms speak of the perceived relationship the Jewish people have with Torah study. And the commitment to the Torah is likened to that of a marriage in which two parties are singularly committed to each other. It is an intimate relationship that challenges the individual and defines much of his or her identity. The marriage symbolism is in the relationship between God and the people of Israel is also found in 7 processions around the synagogue, calling the mind the tradition of a bride circling the groom 7 times, and in some cases, both the bride and groom circle each other. The cycle of readings moving from end to beginning mirrors the cycle of the Hakafot, the circles walked around the ark, and the entire image becomes symbolic of an unending Torah learning. Unlike Shavuot, the holiday that celebrates the receiving of the Torah, Simchat Torah commemorates the community's commitment to learning and its love of the Torah, whereas Shavuot focuses on the burden of responsibility in receiving the Torah. Simchat Torah emphasizes the ecstatic joy of studying Torah. Simchat Torah reflects the rabbinic teaching that one studies Torah one's entire lifetime and always finds new meanings within it. The period of the high holidays concludes with Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah. And all of these holidays contain accountability, spiritual awareness, harmony with nature, individual and community issues, all find a place within the time period and set the tone for the coming year. We are not going to focus on the fact that you're not with us, because one of the best things about Etz Chayim right now is what we're doing online with our Beit Chaim. So we have an opportunity to study with Torah with you on a regular basis. Stay tuned for more information about that. But it's celebrating Simchat Torah without the community there's an absence. There's something that's lacking, and we hope that you won't feel that lack or that absence, that you'll be fulfilled by knowing that we are studying with you online, and you can join us at any time, with the details to follow soon. Okay, so we are going to open up the ark, recite the Mishaberach for all those who are in need of healing, and then we're going to continue with a very abbreviated Simchat Torah celebration.
מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה ורחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את חיה בת יצחק ובלה, לבון בלבס, חיה בת מרים וקלמן, Bela bat Benjamin Berezel, bat Sheva bat Abraham Vesara, Yankov ben Gershon Vesprinza, Yosef ben Chana, Dov ben Sarah Leah Vetevya, Shmuel ben Perol, Yehuda Dov Ber ben Mendel, Kol Kansalis, Rachel bat Etel, Baruch ben Yitzchak, Chava Ariel bat Chaya, Yosef ben Chana, Chana Michal bat Eliyahu b'Malka Zisol, v'ben Ami ben Penina. Refanala, Elna, Refanala, Elna, Refanala, Refuah Shlema.
Refuah Shlema. So now we'll turn to the Simchat Torah service. Let's do something that we haven't done in a while, but it is part of the Simchat Torah service, and that is to recite Vayihi bin Soaron, where we sing about Moses and the people carrying the ark throughout the Midbar, throughout the desert. And remember that, yes, there's a physical ark, but there's also the ark that lives inside of you. Torah is embedded in who you are, and you can travel with your own ark and with your own Torah wherever you are. Let's turn to 213 for Vayihi bin Soa.
One moment. Vayehi bin Soaron, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, Ve'afutzu oivecha, Ve'anusu mesanecha mi panecha.
We repeat, Vayihi bin Soaron, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, Ve'afutzu oivecha, Ve'anusu mesanecha mi panecha.
Kuma Adonai limnuchatecha, ata ve'aron uzecha.
Adonai limnuchatecha, ta v'aron uzecha.
Kohanecha yu b'shut tzedek, v'chasidecha yiranenu.
Kohanecha yu b'shut tzedek, v'chasidecha yiranenu.
Ba'avur David avdecha, al teshet p'nei meshichecha.
Ba'avur David avdecha, al tashev p'nei meshichecha. If you turn to the middle of 214, I'm going to take out a special Torah, and then we're going to ask Cantor Tracy to recite the Ana Shiana. But before we do that, I don't know if you'll recall, but this was a Torah that we took out right around Ne'ilah. Is that correct? It seems like so long ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. It's Kol Nidre. That's what it was. See?
Kol Nidre was further away than Ne'ilah was.
Kol Nidre was further away than yes. See, this is a joyous day, so we can laugh and we can laugh at Rabbi Kleel's poor memory. The point is that yes, this is a little Torah. It's portable. It's small, so it makes it easier for me to carry. But I also want to give the impression and make it clear to everyone that this is a Torah that we're able to transmit to all of you. Again, not physically, but spiritually, emotionally. We want to send you this Torah and all Torah, and we want you to think about what it is to delight and to delve deeper into Torah. And the question I want to just offer at this point is, before we do any circuit, and we're going to do one circuit around the sanctuary, at least I am, the question I want to ask you, what is the Torah that you need in the coming year? What are the insights from our amazing tradition that will comfort you, that will bring you joy, that will stimulate your heart and your mind, and will allow you to go further in your own journey with all of the ups and downs that we each individually experience? What is that Torah? And we have the Torah scroll itself. We have the oral Torah, the Torah of the rabbis throughout the many generations. And Torah comes in different forms, right? There's Torah now on your iPhone. There's Torah on your iPad, or whatever other Apple product. You can access Torah in so many different ways. And if you have any questions about how to do so, whether that's through Etz Chayim or whether that's through legitimate websites, feel free to be in touch with me and with Cantor Tracy, and we can point you in the right direction. So let's turn together.
14.
214. Cantor Tracy will start with Ana Adonai Hoshiana, which is in the middle of the page, and then we're going to go to the very last Hakafa, which is on 215. For now, 214.
Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Ana Adonai Aneinu v'yom koreinu. Aneinu, Aneinu v'yom koreinu. Kadosh v'nora Hoshiana. Rachum v'chanun Hatzlichana. Shomer haberit Aneinu v'yom koreinu. Tomech temimim Hoshiana. Takiv lad Hatzlichana. Tamim b'ma'asav Aneinu v'yom koreinu. Aneinu, Aneinu v'yom koreinu. Aneinu, Aneinu v'yom koreinu. Torah, 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 tzivad lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tzivad lanu Moshe.
So, I think it's been said before, but as I was processing around, I could imagine some of the faces I would be able to count on seeing if you were all here. So you're with us, and we really want you to know how much you matter, and look forward to celebrating Simchat Torah in the present time, but also in the future when we can be reunited in person, celebrating this amazing tradition that we call the Torah. I'm going to return the Torah to the ark. Yeah, that always seems like a good one.
Etz Chayim hi, lama chazikim ba, v'tomcheha meushar deracheya, darchei noam, v'chol netivotecha, shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, kekedem.
Before we close, and that I didn't mean that to be funny, but before we conclude with this part of the service, I wanted to encourage everyone to take advantage of a resource that's online, and this is a wonderful collection. It summarizes each of the parshiot, each one of the sections, the weekly sections that we read in the Torah, in each of the 5 books. And so I think it's just a wonderful way to look at this very short summary of all of the books of the Torah, and I offer it up for your edification and your enjoyment. We are going to turn now, if I can get the book to the right way. We'll turn now to the Aleinu, which can be found on 181.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teish gedula liotzev v'reshit, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא כי אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We turn now to the mourner's Kaddish on 184, and today, which is Simchat Torah, we lovingly remember the following individuals whose yortzites are being commemorated. We recall Bert Benson, Ephraim Barenhout, Alan Bloom, Ruby Chaffetz, Rachel Footlick, Israel Froelich, Dora Goldstein, Maurice Koralnik, Doris Kirch, Jack Leventhal, Morris Levine, David Lomo, Sam Mamet, Ann Margulies, David Silverman, and Abraham Weinberg. All those who are in mourning, who have yortzeit, or whose custom it is to recite the mourner's Kaddish, you may join with me on 184. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah. V'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kari v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulmei almaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudasha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ve'alma v'imaru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru amen. That's it. That is a very short, abbreviated little Simchat Torah service. We hope that you have gotten something out of this, and we hope that it inspires you to delve more deeply into the nature of the Torah. You can look at the sheets that I mentioned earlier, the resource. You can look on our website for the Torah readings that are special for Simchat Torah. And you can continue to be involved in the studying that we're doing as a community. Again, we'll be coming out with that information soon. I want to thank Cantor Tracy. I want to thank Avram Shirak. Thank you all. Be well, and Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.